G'day, curd nerds. G'day, curd nerds. Well, 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 Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to wherever you are. This is Ask the Cheeseman, where you can ask your cheese-making questions. Nice hat. What do you reckon? Well, welcome one and all. This is episode 131. And a big shout out today to new member Michael, YouTube member. Thank you, Michael, for supporting the show financially. And to a new patron, Ali Nichols. Thank you, Ali. Appreciate your patronage, and happy cheese making to both of you. And thanks to all of my financial supporters via YouTube memberships and Patreon. I really appreciate you supporting the show month after month. It's just absolutely fantastic. Kim and I really appreciate it. Okay, lots of people in the chat. Now, I probably tricked everybody because we're a day early. Reason being, Kim's going into hospital in the next couple of days. So we will be, and nothing sinister, it's just a next batch of chemo. So, yeah, all good. So we're a day early, and this is the last show for 2019. The next show will be, where is it? 1st of January, we're hoping. Depends on how many drinks we have on New Year's Eve. So here in Australia, it'll be the 1st of January at 08:30. And probably for Europe and the Americas, it'll probably be New Year's Eve, I would think, roughly. So if you're up for a New Year's Eve party, cheese making, cheese questions, then feel free to join. It should be fun. I'll schedule it after this show. Anyway, let's have a look on what questions we got. Before we do, a few announcements. So videos under production, so you'll still get your regular cheesy fix over the Christmas break. We've got kafili that should be released this weekend, depending on whether I get a bit of time, because I've got family here soon. They'll all be arriving on Thursday. So that'll be fun. So a kafili video, watch out for that in the next week or so. And I'm working on buttermilk blue, which has been requested quite a lot on the channel. I can't remember which company makes it. I think it comes out of the US in Wisconsin. But I'm making buttermilk blue, for better or worse. It's in the mold at the moment. We'll see how it goes. First time I've ever made it. So who knows how it's going to turn out. Anyway, let's get on and say g'day to a few people. So first cab off the rank was Larry, Deep South Texas. G'day, Larry. Karen, g'day, Karen from Washington State. Connor, g'day, Connor. Connor's got a question. We'll get back to that. Nuno, g'day from Portugal. Who else? Zendian, g'day from Norway. G'day, mate. How are you? Luke from Adelaide. I bet it's stinking hot over there, mate. I've seen your heat wave. It's crazy. John from Portugal. G'day, John. Daniel. G'day, Daniel. We'll talk about, that's what I kind of commented. I'm a day early. So go figure. Where else? And Ambrose says, hi, Gavin and Kim. Hope you're doing well. Sorry I won't be able to make this live stream. As I'm heading to bed, I have an exam. Well, best of luck for your exam. And, catch up with the recording tomorrow. Where are we? Who else we got here? We got Matt. G'day, Matt. Chris B. G'day, Chris. Lovely to see you, mate. Jean. G'day. Oh, Jean? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Or is that Jean? From Belgium. G'day, mate. I'll talk about your question in a second. Jordan. G'day, Jake. Zabi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tracy. G'day, Tracy. And Kim's throwing up links already. David and Michael from the Czech Republic. Fantastic. All right, so let's get into some questions. Hopefully, we've got 42 on the stream. That's fantastic. We should have enough people for enough questions. It should be good. All right, quick sip of the coffee. And before we start the questions, is the dog in the chair? No, the dog is not in the chair. Oh, there she is there. She's in her basket. Sorry about that. All right. Excuse me. Connor says, "Hi, Gavin. I made my first batch of cheese last week. Thanks for the suggestion to start with paneer. I followed your instructions but didn't get the same yield as you. Can I do anything to fix this?" Yes, Connor. So add a little bit more lemon juice, a little bit more at a time. So I can't remember how much was in the recipe, but there was a tablespoon or something like that. Could have been. It's been a while since I made paneer, but add a little bit more lemon juice until the whey starts to go clear. So when the whey starts to go clear, you'll know you're getting nearly the maximum yield you're going to get. Don't put too much in because the cheese will be a little bit sour, obviously from the extra acid in the lemon juice. That's how to increase the yield. And remember, when you get the temperature, it's got to be above 90 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but above 90 degrees, closer to boiling. Normally in India, they boil the milk. It's basic because they're using raw milk. They boil it. It's a form of pasteurization, very crude, and that's when they add the acid, and that's when it coagulates. Anyway, great question. Thank you very much, Connor. Okay. Next question is from Luke. And Luke says, "Greetings from Adelaide. Feeling the heat." Yeah, it's crazy. We're going to start having our own little heat wave here in Melbourne. Question: are the little 8-bottle wine fridges suitable for cheese caves? Temperature control between 7 to 17 degrees Celsius. Fantastic question. I actually started off with a wine fridge, and I just got rid of it, actually. It's been sitting in my shed for a while. So it wasn't used for cheese for a while. So for the first year, I used it in the winter. Fantastic. Absolutely held its temperature around about 13 degrees Celsius. Problem was, when it came to summer, because they're not refrigerated fridges, if that makes sense, they're just a heat exchanger, the temperature kept creeping up to 20 degrees Celsius when we're having like 40-degree days. And you can understand that, living in Adelaide, where it's stinking hot at the moment. So they're not really suitable for the Australian climate, the Australian summer anyway. You'll see the temperature starts to drift. Either that, or it was a crappy cheese fridge that I had, or wine fridge. If it is a proper refrigerated fridge, then you shouldn't have too many problems. However, I found that the temperature drifted way too high, and the cheese started to sweat, and that was pretty bad. So I had to go and buy a bar fridge and use an external thermostat, and the external thermostat worked fine. And I think I've got about 3 of those left, external thermostats, if anybody wants one. Just email me using the About tab on the channel. And they're only for Australia and New Zealand, unfortunately. Okay. Daniel says, "I'm not sure if I'm more forgetful of the time difference or the seasonal difference between the States and Australia, honestly." Yeah, it's because I'm a day early. Sorry, mate. Confused everybody. All right. Where are we? And of course, Kim's on the line. She's moderating today. Thank you, Kim. Forgot to mention that. Matt says, "G'day, Gavin." Matthew says, "G'day, Gavin, Kim, and World Curd Nerds." Indeed. Chris says, "Merry Christmas, Gavin and Kim, and the wider Curd Nerd community." Thank you, Chris. And Merry Christmas to everybody if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, enjoy the holiday that you celebrate over this time of the year. Jean says, "Greetings from Belgium. How can I increase the pH value of my brine bath?" Okay, decrease the pH value. Okay, so what I do when I normally make an 18% brine, Kim, if you can find I don't know if there's a video for the brine. Oh, there is, how to make brine. So, Kim, if you go and have a look at the video, pop up the link for me if you haven't done so already. That would be fantastic. And that'll answer John's question, which is a little bit further down there as well. So there's a link to a brine video. So what I basically do for 2 litres of milk, 2 litres of milk. Crazy, it's the Christmas hat. For 2 litres of water, I add roughly, it'll be in the recipe, 450 grams of salt, and that is non-iodized salt. So just sea salt or table salt, whatever you got, as long as it doesn't have iodine in it. Add that to the water, and you may need to warm the water up a little bit to get all the salt to dissolve. And then I add a teaspoon of calcium chloride to stop the calcium ion exchange between the cheese and the brine, so it doesn't go slimy. And then I decrease the pH of the brine down to about 5, between 5 and 5.3, 5.3 and 5. And I do that by adding about half a tablespoon of white vinegar. And the white vinegar lowers the pH of the brine, and it should match the cheese, basically. So, therefore, when you put your cheese in there for a long time, it's not going to go slimy. When it goes slimy, there's an ion exchange. The calcium is trying to go into the brine from the cheese, and it makes the surface of the cheese all slimy. So, make sure you add your calcium chloride, a little bit of calcium in there, and a bit of vinegar to make the pH balanced within the brine. And that answers John's question as well. So hopefully Kim's popped that link up. Let's have a look. And she has. Fantastic. Thank you, darling. Okay. Next question is... Tracy says, "Hi, Gavin. Would it be possible for you to make a Roquefort cheese with sheep's milk?" Definitely possible. I've just got to get my hands on some sheep's milk. So if Graham Strong is listening out there anywhere, and if you're coming to Melbourne soon from the Riverina area, where you have your sheep farm, Arcadia Saltbush Lamb, I'd love some milk, mate, if you can spare it. Hint, hint. If you watch the live stream, that is. So yes, definitely possible. David says, "Just cut open my first cheese with cloth-wrapped cheddar inside. It has cracked." Right, I'll start this again. "Just cut open my first cheese, a cloth-wrapped cheddar. Inside it has cracked, looked like it has shrunk, and had a mold in the cracks. Tasted okay, like a Stilton cheddar cross. Why did it crack?" Why did it crack? Was your cheese fridge humid enough? So just because it's cloth banded and you've got it wrapped and have a liberal coating of either butter or lard or coconut oil, you can get away with. That's what I use, but it grew a bit too much mold. But butter and lard are better. The humidity still needs to be about 80% in the cheese cave or the ripening box or whatever you're using. Still needs to be fairly high. If your cheese dries out, like the humidity is really low, of course you're going to get a crack in your cheese. I'm glad it tasted okay. But yeah, reason it cracked is because the humidity was too low. Okay, Michael says hi from the Czech Republic. Hi, Michael. Kim's throwing up some links. Manuel from the UK. G'day, Manuel. Karen says, "Hit that like button." Indeed, if you like the stream, then hit the like button. And, oh, guess who's in the chair? Holly. 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 Hello. Say hello to everybody. Anyway, Holly the cheese dog, and Teddy's over there somewhere. I haven't got a camera for him. Anyway, Jacqueline, so I'll get that right. Hi, so glad I found your YouTube channel, Living in Montana. Well, thank you very much, Jacqueline, for coming along. That's fantastic. And if I said that before I talked to the dog, then sorry, it's me old timers kicking in. Leonardo said, "Hi, everybody. I have to go early today. Hope that everybody has a nice Christmas and a nice New Year. Best regards to Kim." Thank you, Leonardo. Appreciate it, mate. John, oh, he's back. John, another time with Sir Gav of the Cheesy Round Table with Merry Maid Kim Herian. Nice. I love your little quips. They're lovely. Thank you, mate. And RCHD, bonsoir from France. Bonsoir to you. And John, yes. Kim says, yeah, John, eat more cheese. Anyway, Jacqueline has a question. Says, I'm grateful for friends who give me all the raw milk I want. I pasteurize it. Do I need to cool it? Do I need to quickly cool it before making my soft cheese, or can I launch off from the pasteurization temperature? Yes. So, good question. So when you're cooling it down after pasteurizing, so if you're using, and I don't know if Kim's got the link, pop it in there, honey, if you can find it, the low temperature long hole pasteurization method, which is probably ideal for a home cheese maker, especially if you've got your hands on some raw milk if you want to, and you're not sure about the quality, you want to kill anything that may be in there, you don't know. But raw milk is great for making cheese if you trust the source, of course. Now, as it's cooling down, you need to rapidly cool it still. You've got to get past the danger zone. You need to, so when it gets down to about 30 degrees Celsius, or what's that, 90, about 90, 88 Fahrenheit, then, start making your cheese from there. So go straight into the process. If you're cooling it, if you're storing it for later use, then take it all the way down to 4 degrees Celsius, 39 Fahrenheit, and pop it in the fridge and use it later. But use it within about 7 days. So that's what you can do. So I've done that before, done low temperature long hold, and had no problems. Went straight down to 30 degrees or 33. I can't remember what the temperature I was using for the cheese I was using, but worked fine. And John says, Jacqueline, you have the best option for making raw buttermilk with extra cream blue cheese. Hey, John, don't know if you missed it, mate. One of the cheeses is under production at the moment is buttermilk blue. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Didn't get a very good curd set, but I persisted, and we'll see how that goes. I even used the pretend raw milk we have here in Australia, the made by cow stuff, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. Kim says, John, don't you worry about that. I think she's talking about eating more cheese. I had to confess to Gavin that I ate some of the kefili. Some. Righto, honey. Let's just say I had a quarter sitting in the fridge wrapped in cling wrap for ready use. I went to go and get some last night, and there was none left. So, yes, you had some kefili, if that's a quarter. Well done. Okay. Jordan says, my bloomy goat blue didn't watch curd when setting. Just let it sit there for 24 hours. I think it's set too long. Seems too moist. It's not growing white mold on top, just the sides. It's growing some very light blue. Yeah, it'll do that. If it's too moist on the top and bottom, maybe you're going to have to pat it down with paper towel. That's all I can think of, Jordan. But, let it sit for 24 hours. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so it's probably too moist. And the curd set may not have been firm enough. But, look, if you get any mold cover, that's a good mold cover as far as I'm concerned. It'll still taste all right, mate, once you hit I think it was 10, 15 days. I can't remember. As soon as it had some mold growth on it, and eat it, it'll be fine. Okay. John says, Kim, that's what I'm talking about, Gavin, making your favourite Care for Philly cheese for you. Indeed, I did. Dwayne, hello, everybody. Hello, Dwayne. How are you? Good to see you here, mate, as always. N. Rosalus. Can't. Well, yep, okay. N. Love your videos, and your intro always cracks me up. Thanks, mate. Dwayne says, hello, I'm north of you in Alberta, Canada. Nice one. John says, dairy people need to make a comparable crack cream like US product crack cream for hands. Okay, John. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but very cool. Kim's popped up the pasteurisation link. That's fantastic. Let me just fix that. And thank you very much, Kim. David said, thanks for the advice. Any tips on increasing humidity in my wine cooler cave? Also have a Stilton in there, which also has some cracks, so guess that's the reason. Yeah, indeed. So what I do, David, and I'll just take me 2 seconds to get this up. Let's go for the moon. Here we are, looking for my equipment. I've shown this a few times before, but we'll just... Here we go. So, right, let's go to the desktop view. So, is it working? Come on, Gav, click on it. This will help. All right, so this product I use, and you've probably seen it in most of my cheese making videos, it's a ripening box. It's just a plastic tub with a mat on the bottom. It's elevated off the floor. And this is how I keep my cheeses humid enough. So sometimes I'll put a bit of cloth underneath the mat and I'll have it damp. And that'll get your humidity up to about 90, 95%. And that works really well. And if I want it about 80%, I don't put a mat in there at all. There's enough moisture. Just make sure when you're using the ripening box that it's nice and clean. It's been sanitized. If you want it lower than 80%, you can pop this little pop top thing. That seems to work pretty good. But yeah, we had them for sale. They're only made in Australia. They're made by Decor Australia. And they're actually a microwave container, but they are really good. So we have some and we use them. If you can find something comparable, then that's probably your best bet. A really good little product. If you can get your hands on it. We do ship all over the world, though. Not at the moment, though. The shop is shut until the the 6th of January. We start shipping again, so you can place an order, but we won't ship it till after Christmas. Okay, so that's how we keep the humidity up. I keep my cheeses in those, and they stay moist and grow rapid mold growth, and you don't have any issues with cracking. In fact, I haven't had a cheese crack on me for a long time now since I started using ripening boxes. Okay, Ben says, after cleaning your hands with vinegar, can you rinse them in tap water or will that reintroduce bacteria? Well, tap water doesn't have that much bacteria in it, so yeah, pretty safe. If you've got a cut in your hand and you've put like vinegar on, it's probably best if you just wear gloves, like neoprene gloves, especially if you can't handle putting vinegar on your hands. I only put it on my hands to reduce any wild yeasts or molds that may be on them, because I've experienced it and I've seen it many times when people send me photographs of their cheese. Why is it moldy? Usually it's black mold, and you can have a look. You can see in the photos that people send me, it's like a handprint. There's a handprint, or you got four dots across the top because people haven't cleaned their hands properly. Very simple thing to do, or just wear gloves. Because our hands are like traps for yeast and bacteria. It's just, that's what it is. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that helps your question there, David. Oh, no, Ben, sorry. Kim says mice in the house. Yes, mice in the fridge. Millie Mouskowitz, Kim Weber. Dwayne says, have you made cheese with different types of milk in the same recipe? Funny you should say that. Yes. Dwayne, feta is the best example I can give. There's multiple videos for the feta. So there's a cow's milk feta version. There's a goat's milk feta version. There's a sheep and goat's milk version, like traditional feta. And all three tasted different. The best one, obviously, was the sheep and goat's milk version, the traditional one. But the cow's milk was very nice, very creamy, very much like what they sell here in Australia, Danish feta. So cow's milk was it was like a Danish feta, not a traditional. They just call it that. They don't seem to care about the European naming laws. But yeah, Danish feta, and that works well. So if Kim can find the 3 feta videos, pop up the links for Dwayne. He can check those out. Jacqueline says, thanks for the info. No problems at all, mate. Matthew says, Gavin, have you tried the Glamorgan sausages? They are Welsh sausages made out of Caerphilly cheese. Oh, that sounds interesting. I haven't, no, because we don't have any, no British butchers near us. But no, I haven't tried that. And Matthew, if I remember rightly, you are in the Netherlands, and you're British, but you're in the Netherlands. But no, I haven't tried those sausages. However, Kim does make a most excellent dish out of Caerphilly. It's called Anglesey eggs. And I'm hoping, not that I've got any leeks growing in the garden, but I'm hoping I'll go grab some leeks from the supermarket. They always seem to have some. Make over the Christmas break, or after the Christmas break, some Anglesey eggs, which I'm hoping we'll do a recipe on, a nice video. That'd be lovely. Kim says, I did not eat it all at once. Over a couple of days, it was yummy on toast with some sliced tomatoes. Indeed, it is. Caerphilly is a great cheese. Delicious. Firm on the outside, creamy on the inside. It does tend to grow a bit of mould, as you saw if you watched the shaving a cheese video. That was Caerphilly underneath it, and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. Just grew some mould. It does that. John says, Gavin, reasons for cracking. 2 dry curds, long chain proteins broken in overheating, or not enough cream, oils, or fats. Indeed. Yes, there are other reasons for cracking as well. I would say probably number 1 is probably the most common, besides the lack of humidity, or the temperature is too high. Yeah, indeed, I've seen that as well. Not enough fats. I haven't seen that. I haven't experienced it anyway. So, but yeah, 1 and 2, and definitely the humidity issue. Okay, Mark has said, hey, Gavin, greetings from Daytona Beach. I don't know where that, in Florida? It's Daytona? I'm not sure. Without a doubt, the spicy cheese video is the funniest ever. Keep up the great videos. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I thought there was a bit of comedy in there, especially with Ben and the fire extinguisher during the taste test. Very cool. Thanks for the feedback. Jordan says, sorry for the wording of my bloomy goat question. I had to cut a lot out of the question in order to get it to fit in. That's all right, mate. Hopefully it grows all right. Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Lovely to see you. Hello from Nova Scotia. I fell asleep at the switch to miss the live chat opening. That's okay, Patricia. We're a day early, so that might have been a bit of confusion as well. Jean says, I just did 3 gallons of raw Jersey whole milk ricotta. Brought it up to boiling, almost boiling, 185 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit, but would never separate. What did I do wrong? Not sure. How much acid did you use? 3 gallons is 12 litres. Gee, that would probably need nearly a cup of vinegar, which is 250 millilitres. Hopefully you added enough. You just keep adding a bit at a time until it separates. And mark my words, it will separate if you add enough acid to it. So maybe that could be the issue. So, sorry, other than that, that's the only thing I can think of. George says, hello, Gav. When is the Gorgonzola video coming up? After I make it, I suppose. With Kim in chemo every 3 weeks, mate, and having to look after her for the first week and a half. There's a little bit of stress there on the cheese making front. I managed to fit in one on the weekend, buttermilk blue. which is in post-production now. It's still in the press, not in the press, still in the mold. I've got to flip it again in a minute, and there's a bit of aging to go. So what I'll do, I think I'll get it to a stage where it just starts to turn blue, and then I'll release the video, and people can then follow it from there. But that'll be in the new year, so not a lot of cheese. There should be some taste tests coming up. I've got some relatives who like to be on camera coming for Christmas, so I think we'll be doing some little bit of a cheese taste test, maybe a cheese platter. That will be nice, of homemade Gavin's cheeses, and we'll go from there. Marianne says, not to take sales away from Gavin, but I found the Australian cheese ripening boxes, QVC, in the States. Season greetings to Gavin and Kim, and to all the curd nerds worldwide. Thanks, Marianne. No problems at all. I know a lot of people balk at the shipping price to the Americas. It is fairly high. Like for one of those boxes, it's about $21 shipping Australian, which is okay when you convert it back to US dollars. It's pretty cheap, actually, when you look at the exchange rate. Anyway, but yeah, great idea. If you can get those in whatever QVC is, not sure. Jacqueline says, is it advisable to always use calcium chloride when using my home pasteurised raw milk? Indeed. As soon as you heat treat milk, it starts to lose some of the soluble calcium within it. So you need to replace that with calcium chloride. So always add calcium chloride. Now, if you're using raw milk, different story. But then again, depending on the season, not the season, the stage in lactation of the animal. So later in the lactation stage, just before the animal dries up, then you'll need more calcium chloride because there's less calcium coming through. But yeah, add calcium chloride to your pasteurised milk. Dwayne says, can you make cheese with different types of milk in the same block of cheese? A different question. Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can make half a goat's cheddar and half a cow's milk cheddar and put them together, very similar to what I did with the marbled cheddar that I made. And Kim, if you can find the link for the marbled cheddar, that would be fabulous. And Dwayne can see how the process works. But yeah, you can use different milks. I can't see why not. That would work, Dwayne. Patricia says, opened my first Gruyere today. It has a mouldy natural rind, carved the rind away, and the paste seems a bit mouldy tasting. Not terrible, but should I serve it, smile, and say nothing? Depends on people's taste. And your taste, of course. I would serve it up, honestly. But yeah, Gruyere was a little bit of a tricky one for me as well to keep it at the right humidity during its ripening and keeping that mold down. I did have to wipe it quite a bit. And there is a fair bit of brine washing, Patricia, so sometimes that mold gets away from you. Certainly does. But if it tastes okay and you think it's okay, then give it a go. Okay. John says, will you make a Portuguese hard cheese in the future? John, shoot us through the name of the cheese and I'll do some research and we'll see what I can do. George says, Gavin, when will you make a Brazilian cheese? When I get a recipe. Is it queso manis? I think no. Is that the one? Can't remember. But I will have a look. But all the recipes are a bit tricky. They're in Portuguese, but I'll try and translate something. Okay. Luke says, the wine fridge I'm looking at is thermoelectric with a working range of 32 degrees. If I keep the fridge in the house, maybe it'll be suitable, I'm guessing. I had mine, Luke, in the laundry, and it still crept up to about 20 degrees Celsius all by itself. And I had and mine was thermoelectric as well. So that's why I changed over to proper refrigerated cooling, which you can just cut in and out using an external thermostat, which worked fine. Chris says, "Hi Gavin, can I make drunken cheese at home with supermarket cheese? I was thinking to steep some cheddar or Gouda in red wine. How long do you think I should steep it for?" Um, Normally it's done after it comes out the press and after it's been salted, Chris. But you could do a port infused cheese. I don't know about red wine. Port would be better, or fortified wine. Um, I think you get a stronger flavour. But yeah, how long would you do it for? I reckon 2 hours tops, or the cheese will probably start to be compromised. Compromise the rind. We don't want any of that. Bob and Barb says, "Hi Gavin, I cut into my farmhouse cheddar a few days ago, and it is awesome. I'm starting to gain a little confidence in this hobby. Lol. Keep on going what you do." Thank you very much, Bob and Barb. Um, Farmhouse cheddar is a lovely cheese, and now that I discovered that by using what is it, MA 4001, the Choose It culture, seems to give that cheese just a little bit of je ne sais quoi, if they say, just a little bit of something special. Um, okay. Jean says they're from the Ozarks in Missouri. Well, lovely to see you here, Jean. Salam says, "Hi Gavin, how long is the shelf life for cheese to sell it in the stores?" Don't know. Don't sell cheese in stores. Only make it myself, and I'm the judge of how long it is. But it has a shelf life. A long time is easy. Okay. Matthew says, maybe a stupid question, but why do some cheeses like Caerphilly only take a few weeks to mature when cheddar takes months? Yes. Well, you got to remember that Caerphilly is only pressed very lightly. So it has high moisture content in the middle, and it is heavily salted on the outside. And with that cheese, you're trying to get a moist inside. And I don't have any footage queued up, but yeah, when you'll see the Caerphilly video come out, you'll see it's supposed to be moist in the inside. Whereas with cheddar, it's not only cheddared, so a lot more whey comes out, but you also notice that it is pressed extremely heavily. So you're talking 50 pounds or 22 kilos or up to 25 kilos, enough to close the rind because it's in fingers, whereas Caerphilly itself is all crumbled when you put it in the mold into little thumbnail-sized pieces, whereas cheddar's in strips, like fingers, like fish and chips. And it has a lot less moisture. That's why it takes a long time to mature and for those flavours to develop. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. Joey says, "Hi Gavin from New York. Love the channel. Happy holidays." Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it. Saw some Mike's Big Mouth. "Hi Gavin. Planning to do some Parmesan cheese. How often does the wheel need to be turned over and washed? Your mozzarella tips help me a lot." So Mike, for Parmesan, once a week was all I did. Once it gets about to the 1 month mark, starts to dry out a bit too much because it's very small cheese compared to the 60 to 70 pound or 30 kilogram Parmesan wheels that you get from Italy, the real ones, obviously. Because we're only making about 1.2 kilos of Parmesan in the small batch that I make, then after about a month, it starts to dry out too much. So you've really got to vacuum pack it or wax it to hold the moisture in. So about a month of drying, in to form a natural rind. But you can do that longer if you want a drier cheese. You can certainly do that, and hopefully that'll help you out. Jean says, "Thanks, Gavin." You're welcome, Jean. John says, "Those relatives better be the good ones eating all the cheese. Otherwise, that triple pepper jack will treat the odorous ones to a hot time." Indeed, John. We've run out of triple pepper jack. The last of it I used in the hot and spicy American style cheese. God, that was hot. my God. I'm breaking out a sweat just thinking about it. That was such a hot cheese. Very cool. But no, I've got some good ones sitting in the cheese fridge. I think I got a piece of the that Sicilian safflower infused cheese with the peppercorns. Oh, very, very nice. I've got some Caffili, obviously. I've got some Cotswold, I think I've got left as well. And I've got some the Pecorino Romano that I made, so long ago. It's nearly 2 years old. It should be very, very nice. Might even shave that on some pasta. Anyway, fantastic. George says, I don't want to pressure you or anything, Gav. No, that's okay, mate. It's just, I know people request. I've got a long list of cheeses that people have requested. I get around to them eventually. Gavin, you are the main man and the major reference in YouTube for cheese making. The amount of info you provided so far is more than a blessing. Thank you, George. I appreciate it, mate. Kim says, indeed, John, rest assured they are all worthy. We will have 4 generations of Webermen in the house for the first time. Indeed, we will. Looking forward to seeing all my children and my grandchildren and my father, who'll be here as well. Can pop the link up to the marbled cheddar. So that'll help. Can't remember who it was, but that'll help somebody. Fun with Flags. Oh, so cool. Love the name. Oh, it's my favourite show. Fun with Flags. Wish it was real. Can you make cheese with exotic kangaroo milk? Unlikely. Something you need. Kangaroos do not produce a lot of milk. Fun with Flags, and you should know that, having such a nerdy channel. They they produce about a teaspoon a day. Not a lot of milk coming out the kangaroos. Pretty hard to catch them too, because they run really fast. If you haven't already noticed videos of kangaroos bouncing around, probably kick you in the head if you try to milk them as well. Oh, there you go. Lactobacillus Prime, lovely to see you. Long time no see. Hello there from the Netherlands, a town near Leerdam, where Leerdama is made. A nice cheese, and I've made Leerdama. I think, Kim, if you can pop the link up just for Lactobacillus Prime, that would be excellent. Nicholas says, hi, Gavin. I made cheese for the first time yesterday. Fantastic. I hope it all went well. Fun with Flags. What's that fluffy thing behind you? That fluffy thing? Holly, what are you doing? Nope, that's the cheese dog, Holly. She's sleeping. Nicholas says it was a simple milk vinegar cheese. Got to start somewhere, Nicholas. Got to start somewhere. And Kim actually did say, yes, that's Holly the Wonder Dog. She's cute. Oh, she's just left the building. Chris says Tesco's UK are selling make your own drunken cheese for Christmas. It's 200 grams round of cheese in a plastic pot, and it says pour any drink of choice and leave for 24 hours. That's why I asked. Doesn't seem correct. 24 hours, that's a long time. Mind you, when you make drunken cheese, either drunken goat or drunken cow, I can't remember the Italian pronunciation, but I think you leave it in there for about 12 hours from a Rotley. But you can remember, that's when the cheese has just been pressed. If it's already mature, yeah, it might take a while. But, yeah. Kim said, my first job ever was when I was 17 working at Tesco's. Well, there you go. Is there Tesco's in Australia? No, Kim was English. That's why she said that. Oh, she's already answered that question. Molith, I think that's how you say it. Hello, Gavin and Kim. Hello, mate. How are you? John says, that's okay. Naming all those delicious cheeses. I'm booking a flight right now. Cheers. Hey, Gavin, what's your favourite cheese from the Monty Python cheese shop sketch? That's from Azraelian. My favourite cheese, Wensleydale. That's very nice cheese. That's in the sketch. But yeah, those who haven't seen the Monty Python cheese shop sketch, it's very funny. Old, but very funny. Okay. where are we? Zonda says, you probably get a lot of, but any advice on a nice starter kit for any cheese, really? Yeah, we got lots of kits. I have advice. I always have advice. Whether you take it or not's a different story. Hang on, I'll just bring it up. I got lots of kits. We sell them. Where are we? Come on, website. There we go. So over at littlegreenworkshops.com, we won't be shipping them till the 6th. So Artisan Cheese Kit is the one that's got everything in it. You can make lots of cheeses there. Blue Cheese Kit, Camembert Kit just went out of stock today. Feta Cheese Kit kind of is not really a beginner's. Where's a good beginner's one? This one here, the Fresh Cheese Kit. You can make halloumi and a whole bunch of fresh cheeses. That's a good one. And hopefully the hard cheese kit's there somewhere. This one, no, it's out of stock, but hard cheese kit, you can make 9 hard cheeses. You'll need a press, of course. So there's recipes for farmhouse cheddar, Gouda, Monterey Jack, feta, cottage cheese, Colby, Cotswold, Leicester, ricotta. Plus, you can make a whole bunch of recipes from my videos like Caerphilly, Sage Derby, Leyden, Edam, Havarti, and traditional cheddar. So, yeah, you can make all those cheeses with the hard cheese kit. But they're all over at littlegreenworkshops.com.au. I'll just pop the link. Oops. Come on, Gav, get the link. Copy, pop it in, and hit the button. There we go. There's the link to the cheese making kits that we sell. But like I said, we're not shipping again until the 6th of January. So you missed out for Christmas, unfortunately. Okay. Kevin says, which cheese is your favourite to eat? All the cheeses. I haven't met a cheese that I don't like, except for one that I made called... Oh, actually, I have. If you go and have a look at the thing I did back in February this year, it's called the Cheese a Day Challenge. And there is a... Oh, I can't find the link. But the Cheese a Day Challenge, there's a what's it called? Not a group. There's a playlist. That's the one. There's a playlist on the channel for the Cheese a Day Challenge. There was a cheese that was disgusting, and it was a cream cheese made by South Cape, which did not float my boat at all. It sunk my boat. It didn't float it. It was quite horrible. But yeah, some of those processed cheeses I just cannot handle. I really cannot. They're quite disgusting. Anyway, so that's my unfavourite cheeses. My favourite, all the real ones. They're the best. I'm leaning more towards raw milk cheeses where we can get them here in Australia. Very hard to. But they seem to have a more intense flavour profile due to the natural lactic bacteria not getting killed off during pasteurisation. But we can make some pretty good substitutes with pasteurised milk. But yeah, pretty good. Kevin says, are there any cheese-related jokes? Well, I do have a little cheese book somewhere. I won't go hunting for it right now, but no cheesy jokes unless other people have them. It's 20 past. I think we'll call it a day because we seem to have run out of questions. Unusual. But like I said, there will be another show on the 1st of January. Hopefully all will be well. Kim will be in her 3rd week of treatment, so she should be good to moderate. So hopefully that's okay with Kim. Just let me know there, honey. That would be lovely. So don't forget that you can pop over to littlegreenworkshops.com.au. Like I said, we're not shipping again until the 6th of January. But there's lots of stock in the store, so you can grab stuff there. If you want to support the show, don't forget that you can hit the little join button below and become a financial YouTube member. I think it's $4.99 US a month. You get early access to the cheese making videos, so at least a day early access, if not 2, depends on how my little schedule's going, but you'll get early access. And there's a link below to Patreon as well. So Kim's just put the link up there in the chat where you can get different tiers of support, and the highest tier you get sent cheese kits and stuff like that. So that's all very cool. So don't forget, give the show a thumbs up if you haven't already. But thank you everybody for your support during 2019. Kim and I really appreciate it. We've had lots of ups and downs this year, but everything will get better, I'm sure. And he's looking to a much better 2020, and we will see you very soon. If you want some, the last thing is merch. If anybody wants any merch for Christmas, they ship from the US, so you can get all sorts of cool merch. And let me just pin one to the top of the chat. Here we go. One of my favorites is cups. I do like coffee cups, as you can see. Certified Curd Nerd. I love it. And there's one there. Blessed are the cheesemakers, pinned up to the top of the chat. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody, if you celebrate Christmas. If not, happy holidays. Enjoy your break over the, if you have a break. I know here in Australia we have summer. We're off for 3 weeks now, but we'll be back. The show will be back on the 1st of January. All right, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds. Appreciate your time. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you in the new year for us. See you later. Bye-bye.